Okay, so get this right. Some of these cases, and we're going deep on 3 today, they are so wild you'd swear they were straight out of Hollywood.
Yeah, ripped from the headlines, but like actually real.
100%, that's what we're all about, yeah. No fluff, just the facts, but the kind of facts that'll make you go, hold up, what?
Exactly. Twists and turns you won't see coming. We're talking Sharon Marshall and Franklin Delano Floyd. Tangled web, that one. Then, over in France, the murder of little Gregory Villemin, mystery for decades.
And, to wrap it up, we've got Nicholas Barclay vanishing, only to come back.
Mm.
No, not quite. Each case, appearances are totally deceiving. Strap in, folks.
Wow, yeah, deception's the name of the game today.
First up, Sharon Marshall. Early life, picture perfect, right? Lieutenant Colonel in ROTC, top student, Forest Park, Georgia. Full ride to Georgia Tech. She's going to be an aerospace engineer, work with NASA, whole 9 yards. Graduates 86, future's looking bright.
But then, boom, plot twist. Secret pregnancy, tough choice. Gives the baby boy up for adoption, wealthy couple in Texas. Then tries to run off with her boyfriend, doesn't work out. This, my friend, is where things get messy.
Messy's putting it mildly. Enter Franklin Delano Floyd. Sharon moves to Tampa with him, Florida. Not exactly clear what their relationship was, romantic, who knows. But then she gets pregnant again. Different guy this time, keeps it hush-hush. Kid's born in '88, Michael Gregory Marshall, and she raises him with Frank. Complicated much.
Complicated doesn't even cover it. Seems like maybe Sharon was looking for some kind of stability, amidst all this chaos. Frank, not exactly Mr. Reliable, painter by trade, but back problems, always acting up. So Sharon starts dancing, exotic dancing, to make ends meet. Welfare's helping too, and that's where Cheryl Comesso comes in, 18 years old, works with Sharon. They become close.
89, things go south fast. Frank, Sharon, Cheryl, they're on a boat trip, fight breaks out. Frank and Cheryl. Now, word on the street is, Cheryl, she reports Sharon to social services, saying she's hiding income from dancing. Sharon loses those benefits, just like that.
Let's talk about a domino effect. Frank, he's furious, finds Cheryl outside the club, punches her straight up. Cheryl, she takes off, supposed to be staying with a friend, never makes it. Her Corvette, abandoned at the airport. Investigation begins. Scary how fast things escalate, huh? Personal beef turns into a whole missing person case.
Frank and Sharon, they're on the radar instantly. Skipping town doesn't help, neither does all the name changing they're doing. Then, bam, they get hitched in 89. Frank says it's for Michael, give him his last name, but with all the aliases, you got to wonder, right, what were they hiding?
Definitely raises some eyebrows, makes think what else were they involved in? What else did they need to bury? So they land in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Sharon's back to dancing. Easy to make friends she was, but Frank, not so much. Aggressive, unpleasant, that's what folks said. One dancer even overheard him, threatened to kill Sharon if she left. Controlling, much.
And leaving is exactly what Sharon had in mind. Met another guy at the club, saw a way out. Problem is, she's terrified of Frank, not just for herself, but for Michael, too. Then, wham, hit and run. Sharon's found unconscious by the highway.
This whole thing is just creepy. Frank, he claims he was asleep, no clue what happened. Sharon's in the hospital, seems to be pulling through. Then, out of nowhere, Frank bans all visitors. 5 days later, she's gone. Doctor even thought homicide, old bruises, head injury didn't quite add up. Did anyone even look into that? Seriously.
Money always makes things shadier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sharon's coworkers, they paid for the headstone. Frank didn't. Then he tries to cash in on that $80,000 life insurance policy, took it out on Sharon just months before she died. Funny how that works.
Right.
All those fake names, bogus social security numbers. Finally, he cracks, gives his real name. Frank Delano Floyd, ladies and gents.
And, oh boy, that name, it opened up a whole can of worms. Turns out this guy's got a rap sheet longer than your arm. Back in '62, convicted of abducting and assaulting a 4-year-old girl, escapes prison, robs a bank the next day, gets caught again. '72, another abduction attempt, skips bail, disappears. This wasn't just a couple aliases. Floyd was a pro at disappearing, reinventing himself. It's how he got away with so much, controlled everyone.
He finally gets nabbed in Georgia, trying to get that insurance payout. Sharon's friends, they must felt some kind of relief, finally. By this point, Frank had dumped Michael with social services. Poor kid ends up with a good foster family in Oklahoma, but he was practically mute, screams and moans, that's all he could do. Just breaks your heart thinking what he went through.
Frank, though, he's adamant, swears he's Michael's dad, even gets court-ordered visits. Michael, though, he wants nothing to do with him. DNA test finally comes back, slams the door shut on that lie. Frank, he ain't the father. You'd think that would be the end of it, right? Wrong.
94, Frank's out of prison and he's got a one-track mind, got to get Michael back. stalks him and his foster parents, knows he can't get custody legally, so what does he do? September 12th, 94, walks right into Michael's elementary school, demands to see the principal, James Davis, pulls a gun, snatches Michael, ties the principal to a tree miles away. Cold-blooded.
Chaos, everyone's searching for Michael. Takes 2 months. They find Frank in Louisville, Kentucky. No Michael. Searched everywhere, came up empty. Frank. Didn't seem to care one bit. Cold as ice when they asked him about the kid. Just horrifying.
Meanwhile, remember Cheryl Comesso. Case goes cold for a while, then in 95 they find skeletal remains in Florida. It's her, beaten, shot twice in the head. At the same time, this mechanic in Kansas, he buys a truck at auction, used to belong to Frank. Finds an envelope, 97 photos, a woman, beaten, tied up.
Things start clicking. Turns out a wound in those photos, it matches a mark on Cheryl's skull. They nail Frank for kidnapping Michael. Kids still miss him, but that's good for 52 years behind bars. Then the murder trial for Cheryl, guilty death penalty. But those photos in the truck, there's more to them than meets the eye.
Turns out there were older photos mixed in, Frank abusing a young girl. Took a while, but they finally identified her, and that's when the real shocker hit. 2014, they figure out Sharon Marshall wasn't Sharon Marshall at all. Suzanne Marie Savarkis, daughter of Sandy Chipman. This whole time, Floyd had been wearing masks, pretending to be someone he wasn't. Greed and those past crimes, they chipped away at the facade, exposed him for what he was, using and hurting everyone around him.
This is where it gets truly messed up. Rewind to the mid-70s. Frank's using the name Brandon Williams, marries Sandy Chipman. Sandy's got 4 kids from before. She gets a short jail sentence, bad checks, 30 days. Comes home, house is empty, kids are gone. Every parent's worst nightmare.
Sandy spends years looking for her kids, finds 2 daughters, Allison and Amy. They were the social services. Son, Philip, they find him as an adult through a DNA test. But Suzanne, gone. Turns out Frank took all of them. Kidnapped his own stepkids, split them up, raised Suzanne as his daughter, first as Tanya Hughes, then as Sharon Marshall.
Jill, think about it. He kidnaps his own stepdaughter, abuses her for years, marries her, probably kills her, then kidnaps her son. It's a cycle of horror, almost impossible to grasp. And it gets worse. 2014, Frank confesses he murdered Michael, shot him, buried the body along Interstate 35. They never found him, probably scavenged by animals. Just awful.
Frank Delano Floyd, never convicted of Sharon's murder, though everything points to him. He's on death row now for Cheryl Comesso's murder, a monster who destroyed so many lives. But let's shift gears now, over France. We've got a case that'll keep you up at night, full of unanswered questions and shocking turns.
Gregory Villemin, born in 1980, Eastern France. Jean-Marie and Christine Villemin, they were his parents. Happy family, just moved into a new home, La Ponche-sur-Savillon, small village. Jean-Marie just got a promotion at the factory. Everything's looking up right. Not for long.
Someone starts sending anonymous threats, letters, phone calls, all directed at Jean-Marie. Talking revenge, but never saying why. Goes on for 4 years, even targets Jean-Marie's parents, elderly folks. This poor family terrorized for years, and the killer never found. It just makes you think, how much hate can someone hold inside? How can a community keep secrets like that for so long?
October 16th, 1984, their world falls apart. Gregory, just 4 years old, disappears from the garden. Christine's frantic, searches everywhere, nothing. Imagine the panic, the dread.
And it gets worse. Same day, Gregory's uncle gets a call, anonymous. The voice claims they took Gregory, strangled him, dumped him in the Valone River. I have my revenge, that's what they said. Then Jean-Marie finds a letter, postmarked right before the abduction. I hope you die of grief, boss. Your money won't bring back your son. Here's my revenge, you. Pure evil.
That same day, they find Gregory's body in the river 7 kilometers from home. Hands and feet bound, hat pulled over his face. France is in shock. Everyone wants answers.
The case, they call it L'affaire de Gregory, the killer. Le Corbeau, the crow. It's reference to this old French movie, Poison Pen Letters Wreaking Havoc. At first, they think it's Bernard Laroche, Jean-Marie's cousin. Handwriting analysis, witness statement from Laroche's sister-in-law, 15 years old at the time.
But Laroche says he's innocent, denies everything. The sister-in-law, she takes back her statement, says she was pressured by the cops. They let Laroche go. Not enough evidence. Jean-Marie, though, he's convinced, vows to kill Laroche. This sets the stage for a whole other tragedy.
Just a few days later, huge twist. Handwriting experts are saying maybe Christine, Gregory's own mother, wrote those letters. Then Jean-Marie snaps. Still thinks Laroche is guilty, Christine's innocent. He goes to Laroche's workplace, shoots him dead. Vigilante justice, plain and simple.
Jean-Marie gets 5 years for murder. Then, July 85, Christine's arrested, charged with killing her own son. Pregnant with twins at the time, she goes on a hunger strike, says she's innocent, appeals, gets released, flimsy evidence, no clear motive. Tragically, she has a miscarriage shortly after. The sister-in-law recanting her statement, that's a big deal, but it makes you wonder, what made her say it in the first place? Was there pressure? Intimidation? What was going on in that investigation?
Christine's not officially cleared until 93. Jean-Marie gets out in 87, 2.5 years. Still, no answers. Years go by, investigations reopen, nothing concrete. Letters, rope, DNA, even saliva from the stamps, nothing. The mystery just hangs there.
2017, they reopen the case again. New evidence, they say. Arrest Gregory's great-aunt and great-uncle and his aunt. Bunch of other folks, too. The aunt, they let her go. The great-aunt and uncle, they stay silent. Lawyer up. No convictions. And to add to the tragedy, the lead investigator, Jean-Michel Lambert, he'd been taking heat for how he handled the case, decades of it. He takes his own life that same year.
What was the motive? We still don't know for sure. Maybe jealousy, family feud, maybe something to do with Jean-Marie's work. Remember the letter said boss? They reopened the case again in December 2020, determined to find out who Lou Corbeau really is. Stylometrics, that's what they're using now. Analyzing writing style. Word is, they've got a new suspect, haven't released the name yet. Maybe, just maybe, they'll finally get a justice for Gregory. From the mystery in France, let's head back to the States. Another case, deception and unanswered questions. It'll make your head spin.
Nicholas Barkley, San Antonio, Texas. This kid had a rough go of it. Born in '80, trouble from the get-go. Fights, skips school, steals, even got a juvenile record by 13. Diagnosed with ADHD, too. It's a story about how far people will go when they're desperate, how easy it is to manipulate a family that just wants their kid back. It makes you question everything, identity, what's real, what's not.
His mom, she was at her wit's end, asked Jason, the older brother, to help out with Nicholas. June 13th, 1994, Nicholas is playing basketball, calls home, needs a ride. Jason doesn't want to wake their mom. She's working late, tells Nicholas to walk. He never makes it home.
Knowing Nicholas's history, the cops figured he ran away. There was even a court hearing about rehab scheduled for the next day, seemed to back that up. But after a while, as mom starts pushing, they finally launch a full investigation.
3 months later, things get weird. Jason calls the cops, says he heard Nicholas trying to break into the garage. Cops show up, no sign of forced entry, no Nicholas. Why Jason call, we still don't know. Years pass, no trace of Nicholas. Family starts to lose hope, thinking they'll never see him again.
Then, out of nowhere, 1997, they get incredible news. Nicholas is alive, in Spain, Linares, the story. Kidnapped by a child trafficking ring, held for 3 years, only allowed to speak French, abused the whole time.
Carrie, Nicholas's older sister, she flies over to Spain, gotta bring him home. The kid she meets, he's scared, keeps a hat and sunglasses on, won't take them off. Carrie, though, she's sure, it's him, it's Nicholas. The kid says he's got amnesia from all the trauma.
While they're in Spain, Nicholas seems to remember some family stuff when they show him photos. Police even give him an ID test. Photos Carrie hadn't shown him, he passes. One tiny mistake. They go back to Texas. Everyone's overjoyed.
But there are some things that just don't add up. Nicholas, he was blonde, blue eyes. This kid's got dark hair and brown eyes. Nicholas says they did experiments on him, changed his appearance so the kidnappers wouldn't find him. He's got a thick French accent, too. Says they made him speak only French for years. How desperate do you have to be to ignore all that?
They just wanted their son back. It's understandable. They tell the cops to drop it. They don't want any more investigation. And get this, a film crew shows up. They're going to document Nicholas's return.
One of the guys on the crew, a private detective, he starts getting suspicious. Compares ear photos before and after. Ears don't change much, they don't match. He calls the cops.
February '98, the FBI is on the case now. Fingerprints, then DNA testing, no doubt about it. This ain't Nicholas Barkley. It's Frederic Pierre Bourdin, 23-year-old French con man, calls himself the Chameleon. This guy, he's had over 500 fake identities.
The Barclays, they don't want to believe it, even with the evidence staring them in the face. Frederick, he confesses in court, imposter, guilty of passport fraud and perjury, gets 6 years. Leaves everyone wondering, where is the real Nicholas? How did they fall for it? What was Frederick's game? The cops, they start looking at the family. Something ain't right.
Frederick, he stirs the pot even more. Says the Barclays knew he wasn't Nicholas. They were in on it. Says Carrie fed him info for the police test. Says Jason never believed him, just told him good luck when they met. Remember that weird call Jason made? Saying he heard Nicholas breaking in? That's something killers do sometimes. Make it look like the victim's still alive.
Frederick and the private eye, they think Jason killed Nicholas. Family covered it up by accepting Frederick. Tragically, before they can investigate Jason, he dies. Drug overdose. No more evidence. Nicholas's case goes cold. Frederick, he gets out of prison, goes right back to his old tricks, faking identities in Europe. Nicholas still missing his story. It became a documentary, The Imposter.
3 cases, 3 times the reminder that things ain't always what they seem. Each one, it's like peeling back layers of an onion, the truth hidden underneath.
And so many questions remain. What really happened to Sharon Marshall? Did Frank Delano Floyd kill her? Will we ever know who Lou Corbeau is after all these years? And Nicholas Barclay, is he out there somewhere? You came here for knowledge, for those aha moments, and that's what we try to deliver. But sometimes the truth is darker than fiction, harder to swallow. It makes you think about the choices people make, the darkness they hide.
Think about it. What drove those deceptions, the violence in each case? What does it tell us about who we are? Identity, it's fragile. Families, communities, they keep secrets, dark secrets. We all want the truth, but sometimes it's just out of reach. Which of these cases got to you the most, and why? That's worth thinking about, isn't it?